Now at 5, Pitt State construction students get hands-on learning experience while giving back to the community. Plus, volunteers help transform Carthage Central Park for the holidays. And
key state elections mark the first major political test of President Trump's second term. I'm Erica Brown with more on what voters are saying as they head to the polls to weigh in on those races.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Voters in southwest Missouri and southeast Kansas at this moment are at the polls deciding local races and tax proposals. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. In Lamar, Missouri, voters are deciding whether to approve a 0.5% sales tax proposal that would fund a $4.4 million aquatic center to replace the city's current pool facility that's been closed since 2022 due to infrastructure problems. The proposed tax would remain in effect for 30 years. Elsewhere on the ballots in Barton County, a proposed landfill fee and a use tax. Voters in Crawford County, Kansas are deciding school board and city government races in various communities. The deputy director of the election says turnout around the county has generally been steady and typical of an off-year election. You can keep up with the latest local election results throughout the evening by scanning this QR code. It'll take you to the Decision 2025 races and results page of our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Of course, we'll also have the latest results on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 and right here on KOAM News at 10. Elsewhere around our nation, there are closely watched races in New York City, New Jersey, and Virginia, as well as a redistricting ballot measure in California. It's the first major test for both parties since President Trump won his second term. Erica Brown is outside a polling place in Alexandria, Virginia, with the latest.
Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, cast his ballot Tuesday, hoping to become the next mayor of New York City.
It is time now for a new day in our politics.
Mamdani is facing former Governor Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat running as an independent, and Republican Curtis Sliwa. President Trump is telling New Yorkers to back Cuomo, writing on social media, quote, "You really have no choice."
The president does not support me. The president opposes Zohran Mamdani.
In a tight race for New Jersey governor, voters are choosing between Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli.
It doesn't matter if it's national or local. Every decision that these politicians make affects at some point. It trickles down to your own homes.
Here in Virginia, voters are also deciding on their next governor, another early test for both political parties and President Trump ahead of next year's midterm elections.
There's so many things at stake.
Former Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger is facing off against Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears in Virginia's governor's race, with the government layoffs top of mind for some voters.
Especially as we head into the holiday season with people who are still out of work, I think we'll see something today.
President Trump encouraged Virginians to vote Republican, but he did not formally endorse Earl Sears, his party's candidate for governor. Erica Brown, CBS News, Alexandria, Virginia.
Voters in California are considering a redistricting proposal that could possibly give Democrats as many as 5 additional seats in Congress. That move was in response to Texas lawmakers redrawing their congressional maps in order to boost Republicans' chances of holding on to the House of Representatives in next year's midterm elections. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died. Cheney was a major force in Republican politics for more than 30 years in high office and behind the scenes. As President George W. Bush's deputy, Cheney was one of the most powerful vice presidents in U.S. history. In a statement, Cheney's family said he died last night of complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease, surrounded by his family. Dick Cheney was 84. Windy, but otherwise nice day out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great day for us today, but yes, as Dow said, windy. We had winds gusting 30 to 35, even a little bit higher than that at times, and you can still see our winds are sustained 10 to 20. We're still getting gusts 30, 32 miles per hour. These will slowly come down just a bit as we go through the evening hours. With a lot of mid and upper level clouds, but nothing underneath the clouds. So we are going to stay dry as we go through tonight. You can see those clouds kind of scooting through. Low to mid 50s to kick off your Wednesday, so not as chilly as what we have seen over the past couple mornings. Heading into Wednesday afternoon, upper 60s to near 70, a smidge cooler due to a weak front that is dropping through 60s into the 50s for us tonight. We'll look at the rest of the week here in a bit.
Catching a few volunteers transformed Carthage Central Park today, pulling summer flowers and prepping garden beds for the holidays. About 10 people, including a group from Southwest Missouri Youth Build, spent a couple of hours clearing oval beds that will soon hold Christmas trees for sparkle in the park.
We want this park to really be a beautiful place for people to stop, to pause, to walk, to reflect. And we take a lot of pride in working with Parks and Recreation to really make this place beautiful.
The community effort helps CWEP add festive touches to the downtown space as the holiday season approaches. Students from the Pitt State School of Construction took their skills to the nearby Four Oaks pickleball court. Through a partnership with Conco companies, the students did work on the sidewalks that lead up to the pickleball courts, applying concrete to create a smooth surface.
We'll actually go through and do an estimate, a schedule, a contract, and then physically go out and manage and construct the project. So a little bit more hands-on component of how we do things.
The planning progress began back in August and involved collaboration with the Pittsburgh Parks and Rec Department through professionals, although they do oversee the project. Nearly all of the work is completed by the students. Still ahead, employees earn Amazon vouchers and Nike shoes for walking and wellness.
A new approach to battling burnout on the job. I'm Tina Kraus with an app bringing balance to the workday.
Plus, what a new study shows about walking and Alzheimer's disease. Those stories coming up in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, with burnout in the workplace on the rise, more employers are finding new ways to keep workers healthy and motivated. One app is turning wellness into a game with cash rewards for building better habits. Tina Kraus has that story.
And then put them in everybody's diaries, and then it's sorted.
Ella Deary and Lou Mossman don't just work together. They keep each other moving and motivated in their fast-paced London lives.
Let's have a look.
We've done it.
We've done it, yes.
With the help of an app called ULife that makes wellness worth it, offering cash rewards for staying active and mindful.
You log onto the app, you see how many steps you've walked and how many Ucoin you've earned that day. So you can cash them in for Amazon vouchers or Nike shoes.
The biggest reward.
Mossman says she doubled her step count to get a huge discount on her favorite sneakers.
Talk about motivation to take the stairs rather than the lift.
It's not all about movement. Training the mind pays off too.
Sitting down with a cup of tea and doing my Sudoku. I'm a real nerd.
Health experts say downtime makes a difference, especially when 66% of U.S. workers say they're feeling some level of burnout this year. ULife's founders say healthy habits help both people and profits.
The company is funding it, the insurance company is funding it, everyone wins, and the individual is happy and healthier as a result.
It was brilliant timing.
For Mossman, the biggest reward goes far beyond work to her 6-year-old son, Jacob. Finding a better work-life balance helps her keep up with him. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
The digital currency employees can earn the Ucoin that can be used to donate meals to charity or plant trees, giving a boost to both people and the planet. Even a modest amount of physical activity can delay Alzheimer's disease for years. That's according to a new Mass General Brigham study that showed people who walk 3,000 to 5,000 steps a day saw cognitive decline delayed for 3 years on average. For people who walked 5,000 to 7,000 steps, they delayed cognitive decline for 7 years. Researchers recommend increasing your daily activity because every step counts. Performing CPR immediately when a child's heart stops can make the difference between life and death. A University of Missouri-Kansas City study found that when a child goes into cardiac arrest, their odds of survival increase by more than 90% when CPR is initiated within the first 3 minutes. The Findings highlight the urgent need for people to learn CPR and feel confident performing it right away. A warning for people who take melatonin for sleep. New research presented at an American Heart Association meeting showed long-term use of melatonin supplements is associated with a higher risk of heart failure and death. People taking melatonin for at least a year had more than triple the risk of heart failure, casting doubt on the long-term safety of those popular supplements. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, fake ballots and phony calls plague voters heading to the polls.
Plus, it looks like our temperatures stay pretty nice over the next few days. We're going to check it out coming up. Well, it turned out to be a beautiful Tuesday for us today. A little bit on the windy side, gusts kind of 30, 35, a little bit higher than that at times, but overall, look pretty good. No complaints. We have some mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming through, especially once you get through Kansas into Missouri. But besides that, there's not a whole bunch going on across the entire Central Plains, and that is what we are going to see as we go through at least the next couple days. We do get some clouds kind of skirting through for us tonight, but we only drop back 53, 54 degrees for overnight lows. Look at the wind shift line. Slides in by late morning on Wednesday, so the winds are going to switch from the south to the north. Still on the breezy side, but this ushers in a smidge cooler air. Maybe we're talking 3 degrees, 4 degrees cooler than what we are seeing today. As we go into the afternoon, I think most of us 68, 69, 70 degrees. So Wednesday looks pretty good as well. All right, tomorrow night we drop back upper 40s, few clouds kind of skirting through. And then let me take you into Thursday afternoon. Southerly wind returns and this pops us back into lower 70s for afternoon highs. Clouds increase Thursday night into Friday as another front starts to slide in. But again, very similar to what we are going to see tomorrow. Looks like mainly a dry front. All right, still southerly winds kicking in out there 10 to 20 with some gusts a little bit higher than that. It stays windy tonight. I think those gusts are going to be kind of 15 to 20 to 25 throughout the night. Here comes our front tomorrow. Look at the wind shift line. Then we get a northerly wind at about 10 to 20, so it's breezy as we go into Wednesday. 54 to start, 68 by noon. Let's go with a high temp, 69 on your Wednesday. Looks good. You can see those mid and upper level clouds. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam at 7th and Joplin Street. Through the evening, 60s, eventually into the 50s. A slow drop as we go through the evening hours. Monette 69, 72 in Grove, 71 in Parsons. Fort Scott, you guys are sitting at 70 degrees. We have a very zonal flow. So not much is going on. No big storm systems, at least over the next several days. Let me go through the rest of the week, and then heading into the weekend, we do get a wave, slides in. Look at the snow up through Iowa, parts of the Great Lakes, but it ushers in cooler air as we go into early next week. But we stay mainly dry with it, but we are going to see a pretty big cool down. Not on Friday. Friday, we still go into the 70s. Saturday, I still think we're going to be near 70 degrees, upper 60s. And then as we go into Saturday night, look at the snow showers shooting just to our north, but our temperatures will drop. Most likely we are only in the 40s for highs on Sunday, and then we plummet mid-20s as we go into Monday morning. 69 tomorrow, 74 Thursday, 72 Friday, 69 Saturday, but only 48 on Sunday, so a pretty big switch, only 51 on Monday.
And those overnights going from chilly down to downright cold.
Got it.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, cybersecurity experts have a warning about election scams targeting voters.
Attention.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, from fake voter signups to phishing texts, election scams are surging. One study found more than half of Americans say they've been targeted as a voter, some losing thousands of dollars. Reporter Evan Moon has tips on how to spot scams this election day.
Phony candidate calls, and bogus ballots. As voters head to the polls Tuesday, cybersecurity experts warn election scams are on the rise.
Every time the phone rings, every time you get a text message, every time you get an email posing to be from any election commission, know that is fraud. Don't trust it.
In a cyber safety report released by Norton last year, more than half of Americans said they've been targeted by an election scam, many reporting losing money.
The scams are definitely becoming more prevalent and more sophisticated due to the use of artificial intelligence.
Some voters have also reported fake ballots in their mailboxes and scammers posing at voter registration booths. We spoke with a college student who fell victim to this, stopped by two men outside of a Target in Pittsburgh.
They saw my student ID around my neck and they're like, "Oh, you're a student, you're not registered." So they kind of like convinced me to get over, and they walked me through the paperwork. It was like a bunch of personal information. They had me give, obviously, my full name, my address. I gave the last four numbers of my social security.
Mississippi Secretary of State Mike Watson says it's a growing problem there, too.
The circuit clerk in a local county actually showed up to the voter registration drive. These folks never sent the forms in, but they were harvesting the information.
Watson says new voters should never have to give a social security number to register, and legitimate election offices won't call or text you for information.
New laws, including a ban on AI robocalls, haven't stopped scammers. The FTC reported consumers lost $12 billion to fraud in 2024, up 25% from last year. We did ask the FTC about election-specific scams, but they were unable to give us a breakdown due to the ongoing government shutdown. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Now, if you receive a suspicious text, call, or fake ballot, or have questions about voter registration or polling locations, contact your state or local elections office. If you think your morning coffee is kind of pricey, well, hold on to your wallet. Baristas in Dubai are pouring the world's most expensive cup, ringing up at $1,000. Yeah, $1,000 for a cup of coffee. It's made from rare hand-picked beans grown in Panama, delivering, they say, a flavor that's delicate and sweet, a bit like honey.
You will find mostly white flowers like jasmine and citrus flavors like orange, mandarin, bergamot.
If I was very rich and I did not care, I would try it just because.
Yeah, I don't think so. And get this, the cafe spent a jaw-dropping $600,000 on just 44 pounds of those prize beans at auction. They plan to serve around 400 cups, saving some of the big-ticket brew for Dubai's ruling family. Restaurant chain Denny's says it's been acquired by a group of investment firms in a deal worth around $620 million. The company's CEO says he contacted more than 40 potential buyers and received multiple offers. The deal is expected to be completed in early 2026, and afterwards, Denny's will no longer be publicly listed on the NASDAQ. According to the chain, there are more than 1,500 Denny's restaurants around the country, most of them franchised or licensed. Kimberly-Clark announces a massive $49 billion acquisition of Tylenol maker Kenvue. The merger creates a consumer health giant combining household brands like Huggies, Kleenex, Band-Aid, and Aveeno under one company. The deal comes weeks after the Trump administration raised concerns about Tylenol use during pregnancy and potential autism links, though medical experts say the drug remains safe. Final check with the forecast up next.
State Hero.
Tonight on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have continuing election coverage from around the 4 states area, and in sports, a preview of the Missouri Southern Lions road conference football game at Central Oklahoma. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Doug, the weather pretty nice today, although it's been windy.
Yeah, it was definitely windy, and it's still going to be breezy tomorrow, but not near as strong as what we are seeing today. Great high temp, 69, 74 Thursday, 72 on Friday. Mainly dry over the next 10 days. Then things will get moving again.
All right, we'll see what that means. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. Although the sun is setting too early these days, it is beautiful at the moment. Let's make it a great evening.